Department were dispatched to a fire and explosion at a local campground. The campground is Powderhorn. Campground again at 48 Cascade Road. Upon arrival, the fire department was met with a fire and 2 adult females that were severely burned. Old Orchard Beach Fire Department, with the assistance of Saco Fire Department, transported those individuals to Maine Medical Center, where they received life-saving treatment. Unfortunately, we got word yesterday that both of those individuals had subsequently passed away. And I want to start by saying that it's incredibly important. These people were wonderful human beings from all accounts that we've learned about. They were visiting Maine here this weekend and intended on having a wonderful weekend here in Old Orchard Beach. At this time, based on statements from those that are involved, we learned that they arrived to their camper. There was a rotten egg smell in their camper. I believe they mentioned the word smelled like garlic. They opened up some windows and doors and subsequently lit a candle to help with the smell that was in the trailer. At that point in time, this is what we believe is the ignition source that sparked what we believe is a propane leak, which led directly to the fire and explosion. We've done a preliminary investigation alongside Old Orchard Beach Fire Department, the police department, and the Maine Fuel Board. At this point in time, there's no criminal activity that we are investigating, and we feel it's important to get the message out to the public at this time. We have 2 possible causes, and we have more work to do. One of those causes is obviously what we're all thinking is system failure. It is possible that there was a propane leak either in a line set or an appliance, and we need to go back and do some further testing to confirm whether or not that is true. There's also a second possible cause of the leak that was noted by the first arriving fire department units, and that was specifically that they found a turn knob on a stove that was in the on position. That could have potentially leaked propane into the small destination camper and subsequently filled that with propane. Again, I want to be very clear. We have more work to do here. This is an absolutely tragic event. And while we don't always want to use a tragedy to spread a message, it's incredibly important that if you have a propane or natural gas appliance in your household, that you invest in a gas detector. That will give early notification of a gas leak and allow folks to get outside as soon as possible. Once a person smells a rotten egg odor, their mercaptan that's specifically in propane or natural gas, they should exit their home immediately. They should get outside and they should dial 911 and call their local fire department. The local fire department has the tools and training necessary to identify whether there is a true propane emergency or not. The same applies for natural gas. So with that being said, we've already released the names of the victims. Next of kin has already been notified. Again, our hearts go out to their family. This is a tragic event and not how we'd like to have spent our weekend here in Old Orchard Beach.
They didn't have a detector, correct? They didn't use to find any.
We did not find any evidence of a gas detector in the destination camper. We did find evidence of smoke detectors.
I'm going to switch my mic real quick. I'm sorry. I'm getting terrible audio.
Was it their camper, or did they rent it as a campground,
The camper was owned by a family member of one of the victims.
Sorry.
The patients were transported to Maine Medical Center. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier. Again, we've already released the names of the individuals, but Alicia Ventura Large of Marlborough, Mass., 58 years old, and Nancy Pilch of Leominster, Mass., 57 years old.
I think they said the same age, so they're 50 and 57,
I did. Yeah, one of the females was a couple days shy of her 58th birthday.
Sorry, which one was 57 then?
Nancy Pilch was 57.
The other one was 58.
That's correct. And again, unfortunately, I believe today would have been Nancy's birthday.
So you said when they arrived to the camper that people involved reported a rotten egg smell. Was that the victims themselves?
The victims themselves.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Were they just staying for the weekend? Were they staying for the season?
I don't have that information.
Okay. Because I know that area is like a seasonal area. So family member.
I don't know.
Is okay.
And you said a family member owned the camper.
I believe the camper. Sarge, can you answer that question for me?
Yeah, well, we got the names. Yeah, so it's a family. They're family members of owners of the campground. So that's essentially what it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, could you say again who smelled the rotten egg smell?
The victims themselves.
Oh, and how was that?
Yeah, so let me back up because I want to make sure that I answer that question. I believe that the females mentioned a garlic smell is what they actually stated. The rotten egg smell is what I referenced when I want the public to know what propane or mercaptan in the propane smells like. So I believe they referenced that they smelled a garlic smell. I'm not sure at this point if they were familiar with what propane smelled like or not. I'm not going to speculate, but the fact that they lit a candle to obviously mask the odor lends credibility to they didn't actually know, what the smell was.
Who did they tell? Do you know?
I didn't-
Who did they report that smell to?
That would have been the first arriving fire units.
Question. Most of these campers are these runoff bottled gas. Do most of them have, because maybe for somebody who sees this, owns a camper,
Yeah.
they might be thinking, well, maybe I should go check mine. Do most of them come with a gas detector pre-installed, or do you recommend that everybody
So
go and get an extra one?
we absolutely recommend that everybody in a camper or at your home checks first to see if you have one or not. Some campers come with them, especially if they're manufactured new, but there's a lot of older campers out there, right? So check your campers, check your homes for gas detectors if your home or camper is serviced with LP or natural gas. If you don't have one, we recommend the purchase of one. If you do have one, great.
So were the women conscious and able to speak when firefighters arrived?
Wasn't the paramedic that arrived, but yes, they were able to
Relay that
certainly relay some information before they were treated at Maine Medical Center.
Thank you.
Yep.
Could you describe a little bit about the tank setup of these propane, like how it was set up, how it was connected to the camper, and what it was used for, who set it up?
I'm not sure who set it up, but it's not uncommon for campers to be piped with LP gas and have bottles that feed the system. I kept referencing a destination camper. Destination campers are often made to be brought to the scene and then set up. So sometimes like the LP is hooked up, the sewer system is hooked up, and more of a, I'm going to bring it there, I'm going to park it, and I'm going to leave it for an extended period of time.
And how was that fashioned or attached to the camper? Was it a it
It was on the side of it,
on the side?
but nothing, there's nothing out of the ordinary here.
Okay.
It's
And
an LP
tanks,
tank, right?
It's an LP tank, and it's connected to appliances in the same fashion that it would be in your home or other campers.
was that already connected when they arrived? Was that something that
Yeah, everything was connected and operating as it should.
when they arrived, or did they set it up? Do you know?
I don't know.
Okay. Do you know how long the camper was like parked there? Was it?
I don't know.
Was it there for the season?
It was definitely there for the season,
Okay.
but I don't know as far as how long it had been there.
Was it their camper that they brought to hook up at the campsite, or was it already at the campsite?
The camper was already there. This was owned by the family, one of the person's family members, so it had been there an extended period of time. I just don't know the exact years, and they were vacationing up here for the weekend.
So just to clarify, the tanks and everything were already set up when they arrived.
When the homeowner or when the occupants,
When the two women arrived.
Yes.
the tanks
Oh,
were
yes.
already set up.
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
Sure. I also know the campground has to be inspected. Can you kind of share a little bit about what the compliance was like at the campground the last time it was inspected by local officials?
yeah, I would prefer to defer that to the local fire chief. That question.
I couldn't say when the last inspection was. I believe the Department of Health and Human Services generally goes through those. They're inspecting the campsites, campfire rings. Generally, they're owner occupied, so it's nothing that we're going in to inspect because it's not a business license.
Sure.
Unless we go as a complaint, if we follow up on a complaint. Usually if there's a campfire is too close to a propane tank or an issue, a safety issue in that regards.
Were there any sort of recent complaints about the campground related to how tanks were set up that you're aware of?
No, not that I'm aware of.
It was last in compliance with older changes?
Yep, yep, no complaints or no issues in that area. And with the entire campground also, we haven't had an issue. We haven't had an issue there.
I just want to make sure that I clarify for the record so that there's no confusion whatsoever. Alicia is the owner, her and another one of her family members, and Nancy is a friend of Alicia that was visiting with her. Okay, does that help?
Are they related to people that own Powder Horn? Alicia is related?
I don't know that
Oh, okay.
that's, no, I don't know that that's true.
Okay, so Alicia's family owned the camper.
Yep.
And then Nancy
Was a friend of Alicia's that was up visiting.
Right,
Again, back to your question, we don't know if it was the weekend or we don't know how long.
right, okay.
We don't.
Sure.
The burner that was left on, you said? Is that
Yep.
Did it light? Could it ignite, you know? Or was it one of those like, I have one at my house, you turn it on, you got to light it yourself?
I don't know.
Okay.
And we don't know the condition prior to the explosion. We just know that from the fire department's initial arrival, one of the burners was in the on position. That's all we know. Again, that's not saying that that's the cause. We want to be very clear of the propane leak. We have not done pressure testing on the system to isolate whether it was a true system failure, and we will do that in conjunction with the Maine Fuel Board and the insurance company that owns the camper in the future to try and rule out one or the other. Okay, I just want to be very clear and transparent with folks that we have more work to do.
Oh, I had one more. Was it a newer camper or an older camper?
It was an older camper. I believe it was in between 12 and 14 years old.
Okay. Not brand new.
Not brand new.
Clarify again, so Alicia is the owner of the camper, not the campground, right?
Correct.
Okay, but were they friends of the campground's owners, or is that?
No.
No, okay,
We don't have any information to support that.
okay, thank you. I thought I heard that at some point in this guy, just wanted to
And-
verify.
and-
It was like a seasonal site or.
This is a campground. This is a seasonal site, and again, visiting.
So the tanks that were there, are they provided by the campground or by the
Individual. This would be,
whoever's using them?
yeah, yeah. So whoever owned that particular camper or was leasing the lot would be responsible for everything outside of probably water and sewer. Everybody good?
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
You're very, very welcome. I hope I was as clear as we can be. Chief, do you have anything?
No, other than we'll continue to lend our support. The police department will continue to lend our support to the investigation with our officers and investigators as needed. We've been working closely with these agencies that are doing a very in-depth investigation of this.
Thank you.
Anything else, Chief?
Appreciate it.
All right.